Yo, yo, yo. Hello, boot campers. Hi, guys. Welcome, everyone, to this very first session. My name is Maria JD, if you guys haven't seen me yet. And I've got a surprise. I've got a palm tree, and I've got Alfredo.
Hey, hi. How's everyone doing?
Yeah. So, guys, feel free to introduce yourselves. We've got Alfredo here because Oscar had just had his
Some tech
power
issues.
supply cut,
Yeah.
like literally 5 minutes ago before we started. So this is amazing that we had to reshuffle things around, but we're not reshuffling the program of what we're going to cover. So we're going like right according to the plan, and it's great to have you here. So before we get anywhere, let's just start with a little round of intros. So please just say hi to
Say hi.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say where you're from, and if you're pro or beginner, like how far are you in your sculpting journey, in your art journey, just like, all the things that like we kind of want to know about you. We actually would really like to know where you are in terms of like country, but also in terms of, like how much experience you have, so that Alfredo and other instructors in the future could like kind of gear the content more towards everyone here needs and not towards what we already like kind of have prepared. So yeah, anyway, so it would be great to see where you guys are from, and let me see the chat real quick. Let me see who is here.
Speak.
Okay, yes, there is Italy, and there is Canada, beginner from Canada. Hi,
Nice.
and the Netherlands, and hi from Puerto Rico. Hi, California. Wow, pro 2D game artist trying to get more into 3D. That's amazing. And Belgium, Colombia, traditionally represented. And hi, Wills. Let me just see quickly who is here. Kirill from UK. From UK, amazing. Hello, Texas. Hello, Bulgaria. Hello, Italy and India. And oh my God, technical artist from the Netherlands. That's amazing. Hello, oh my God, there's like so many of you guys.
Yeah.
Again, India, Poland. Oh yes, hi Ruben Martins. That's our students. Amazing to see our community here. That's great. Hello, Singapore. Jesus, we've got a lot of countries.
A lot of them,
So
yeah.
yeah, like a lot. Okay, Sergio from Mexico,
Cuba.
probably, yeah, neighbors, France. Okay, we've got like a lot of geography. I kind of, like TLDR. A lot of countries.
Yeah, a lot of
So
people. We have 300 people watching us.
yeah, that's a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
know that it's always a lot of people also watching us in the recording because we're spread across so many time zones. So we've already heard that from you guys. So before we get going, I'm still reading all of the messages. Quentin, thank you for sharing the story. Love the stories. Been working as a 3D generalist and specializing in character art since started Vertex School 8 months ago. That's great. The whole planet. Yes, the whole planet. Hello, world. Okay, so before I get going with everything that we have planned for you, I just wanted to remind you guys of a little bit of agenda. The agenda is that me and Alfredo are wearing Hawaiian shorts.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't notice that. Oh my God.
Yeah, right. I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, we're connected in some way.
Yeah. Oh my God. Of course, because we're here for summer boot camp. No, seriously, we
Oh,
didn't
that's
agree
right.
about that. That's amazing.
Everything goes with the
Yeah,
theme.
good. Yeah, exactly. Good job, Alfredo. I'm hoping that somebody else on the other side of the stream is also wearing a Hawaiian short. If you
Yeah, let us
are,
know.
yeah, just like share that on Instagram. Tag Art Heroes will like look at your Hawaiian shirt. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the agenda for the whole bootcamp, guys. So I'll remind you that the overall goal is to complete a character during this 1 week. So I know that we're very different levels, so we didn't want to put any constraints because in the end of the day, it's summer. And summer is just like all about flexibility. So you can like very flexibly work during 1 week.
We're doing it right now.
I know, like a lot of flexibility. So yeah, but we'll try to give as much guidance as we can with all of our team. And we're starting with the Blockout session that will happen today. Tomorrow we'll move to texturing and details. Hopefully Oscar is back with us tomorrow. Then we'll have a session on hair. And this is by Ugo Sena, who is currently in Montreal. And he's like great. Yeah, he knows hair really well. This is definitely recommended. And finally, we'll move to a feedback session. So everybody is welcome to That's Alfredo. Yeah, we're back with Alfredo on Friday. So everybody will be more than welcome to submit their whips for this feedback session that's going to happen on Friday. So every day, you guys have a little assignment. And basically, the main goal every day that you post your progress so that we could all watch where everybody is in terms of, where is your character, how's it going, so that we could also all give feedback to each other. We've got the whole team looking at you guys and like checking out everybody's progress also on the Discord server. So please make sure you do check out the Discord server, and there is a thread for every day. So okay, guys, that's not it. Like, I know you guys are tired of listening to me, but I just wanted to throw a reminder to everybody here who is a beginner artist. I think we've got quite a few. So we've realized that we've got like a bunch of ZBrush newbies. So we made ZBrush Fundamentals that is actually coincidentally made by Alfredo. So this is a really cool program. Yeah, so we've got somebody who's listening to Alfredo's voice all day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to Alfredo's voice many times on like, double speed.
Yeah, that's the best way to.
Doesn't help you progress, but like that's.
But I sound better.
if somebody likes life hacks. Okay, so we made ZBrush Fundamentals available, and you can find it also. There is a link that we post on Discord server, and you can get. It's about like 2.5 hours of like really like introductory level ZBrush. So everything about the interface, about brushes, materials. So if you guys are very new to ZBrush, make sure you get that, because during this bootcamp, we'll have about 1.5 days where you can polish your character. So basically you have this 1.5 days of like lag time. So if you're really into like rapid progress, you can get going with ZBrush and complete this week having like a character. So that's kind of our goal. And for those of you who are not new to ZBrush and don't need ZBrush Fundamentals, well, great job. That's just, stay with us. And yeah, everybody's excited. Let's go. Let me see. Yes, so we've got a bunch of people that started watching ZBrush Fundamentals. Great. Don't forget to practice as well. And the final note that every day of the bootcamp, starting from tomorrow, we're going to do raffles to keep you guys a little bit more on board. So tomorrow we're going to raffle a 3D printing program for artists. And yeah, the only requirement for that is that you post your progress. Just like, it doesn't matter where you post it. You can post it on Instagram stories, for example, make a post and tag our heroes so that we see it. If you use Discord, please post it on Discord. So among everyone who posts their whips and who also attends the session live tomorrow, because you have to be live to participate in the raffle. So man, everyone, we're going to raffle ZBrush. Oh my God, not ZBrush Fundamentals, 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool program that's made by Martin Verhoeven. We love this guy. And yeah, he's a great artist, and he's really like a 3D printing geek. So It's one of our like most popular ones. So yes, I say yes. I say a raffle for the 3D printing course. Yes, that's exactly what I say. Christian tool, yes, and everybody else who's asking the same question, yes. Okay, I hope. I hope we're. What's a raffle? Raffle is basically when we add all the names of everyone who submits their homework and attends live. We add all of your names to our machine, to our robot. It's just like a website randomizer, and our robot selects a random name, and this random person that we don't know yet gets a prize. It's as simple as that. I mean, we don't take money for that. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so Alfredo, shall we get going?
Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like
So,
improvising here, but let's go.
yeah, let's just, yeah, absolutely. So the topic for today is
Blockout.
Yeah, a lot of topics, but basically our goal today is to read the concept and do the blockout.
That's right.
Shall I share your screen?
Yeah, I think you can. Let me know if it's too like little. Sometimes I can also like share, like have this magnifying thing to showcase stuff.
Yeah, that's. I think that's good.
Yeah, I can use it like every time because it's a little bit like distracting for me to have the zoom here thing. But if something like doesn't show, just let me know and I'll try to show it.
Alfredo, quick question. How do you prefer questions? Do you prefer questions like as we go, or we can make a pause in about 10 minutes? And or all questions at the end?
Well, I can take it on the go. Just if I lose my track, please remind me where I was.
Don't worry. Yes, I'm like, I have a pen. I'm taking notes of everything you're saying. Be
awesome.
careful.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I can take it on the go. So
okay,
go ahead.
Cool.
Okay, so first thing, we need to get a concept. I think most of you already have our concept since that was day 0 task. And to make your own mood board and to choose a concept, we didn't like have any restrictions in terms of like characters or if it was kind of an animal or like a creature or something like that. But you have to start with a concept. So I chose mine like pretty fast right now. This is a concept by Rodrigo Alexandrino. It's this granny with some like, I'm not sure what are these plants called in English, but plantas carnívoras, I'm not sure. So yeah, the first thing we have to have is our concept. And before even starting, like we can start already like kind of reading it, kind of seeing where are we going. Let me just make this bigger so I can showcase a bit better. Okay, so we got our concept here. What we can do first is like see how many distances of head we already have. This is almost like let me see, I already have a ruler here, so maybe I can use my ruler, but but no. Okay, so we can know that it's more or less, let me just get it here. It's like this is one head more or less and another head, so it's like 1, 2, 3.5 heads around it, more or less. So the first thing, it's like identify the proportions, more or less. We can also identify maybe the design of the character, like the kind of strokes that the actual artist gave when doing a concept. So that's very important, but this is a bit later. The other first thing that we can identify is that like the simple shapes, we can like simplify this thing. Let me just change to the pink one because it's better to see, I think, for you. So we have like maybe a head here. We can showcase it by using a circle. And then we have the whole torso that maybe could be like a big square here. And for the arms, we got these nice cylinders. So we can start breaking out the concept and like checking how the construction of this character is. We can start to identify that there is some tapering, as you can see here. The upper section of the leg is a bit like wider compared to the lower section here, and yeah, so that's important when we are sculpting, when we're noticing this kind of artifacts and this kind of changes. So that would be, in my opinion, the first thing to do when looking at a concept, like breaking it apart, like checking out the proportions, maybe the distances. But yeah, like the distances, we can start to polish them later on. But we already have the basic shapes, like the basic square, the simple shapes that we already have going on here. And then without all this thing in place, we can already get started. Let me just take a screenshot of this so I can save it. Where's my snipping tool? Let me just change this here and get my snipping tool working. As you can see, I have a little keyboard here, so I have some shortcuts inside of ZBrush. So I hope that you don't get lost. If you get lost, just ask a question, and probably Maria will pop this up for me, and I can answer you what I'm doing and what happened there, because maybe
Probably.
at some point I will be doing
Probably.
yeah. No, I'm quite sure that you will. So
okay, so
yeah.
What software are you using to make your marks on the concept? Maybe
for my marks,
people. Yeah.
Oh, this is Epic Pen. It's it's a free software, but you can also get the paid version, which has I think more stuff. But I'm quite happy with this. So this is really helpful because you can actually like draw on the screen, and it will like stay there. I already erased my strokes, but let me see. Like I can also like start drawing here, and if I want to hide it, like I can just click the side and it will disappear, and then I can pop it up again. So maybe if you could also like use this while sculpting. Let me just change this here and hide this a bit here, and let me bring this below so I have it like showcasing here. I don't want to get Rodrigo's name out of it because it's their concept, so they have to get some. What's the name? I don't remember. Like the to let you know who's the author of this awesome concept. Yeah. So, like for example, if we were sculpting, like we could use this feature to maybe, I don't know, place this thing on top and draw the outline, and then we can kind of trace it here. And we can hide it and stuff like that. So we can take some measurements and we can like make some notes over the screen that will help us over time. And this is actually pretty helpful. I use it sometimes. I use it most of the time to make corrections in the forum, or like in the Art Heroes forum, and maybe like doing some notes on my stuff, or like drawing silly stuff to like have it over my screen and stuff like that. So I'm not all that lonely when I'm sculpting. Like I can draw a smiley face like over this guy here. A bunch of stuff. Like it becomes like your whiteboard over your screen.
This is amazing. I think like drawing a smiley face on that skeleton is like very useful application for.
Yeah, I'm going to draw a party hat here. So.
Yeah, but a cocktail straw.
Yeah, a cocktail. Maybe I could also like draw a martini here.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course.
With a little umbrella.
Yeah,
Let me change it to another color, so it's summer vibes.
Okay, amazing.
Let me just finish my little.
I think that's here. Typically like.
This is how it goes.
This is how it goes at Art Heroes. Definitely, like that's how we approach everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop drawing on this guy because it was
I was just gonna say we can.
And we have to focus on the actual thing, right? We can get distracted a bunch of times. Like this is kind of procrastination. It happens.
Quentin says that it looks sick. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
The
awesome.
martini looks sick, or like meanwhile.
Do I look sick? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think they don't see you now because it's full screen.
Oh, okay. So it's not me. Okay, that's great.
Meanwhile, everybody in the chat is paying respects to Chomp Chomp. That's a plant. That's a fly trap.
That died. For the Chomp Chomp.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right. Sorry, we got distracted. We were blocking out the character.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I promised you to bring you back if you get lost. Okay, so we were blocking out this amazing grandma. Yeah.
Okay, so right now we can already start implementing this kind of stuff. Like maybe for starters, we can already start to take into consideration the actual what the height of the character. So we could like duplicate this thing because I'm going to clone it and I don't want it to be on the same object. What I'm going to do here is just to press Control and bring it down. So here, and I'll stop pressing Control. As you can see, well, you can see me, but I just lifted my hand, and from the Control, well, you can see it on the little like keyboard there, and I'm just going to bring it down, and this will make a bunch of objects below. Okay, I didn't incorrectly, so I'm going to give more space. So bring your gizmo on the screen, stop pressing Control, and bring it down. This will make you a bunch of copies of the character. Well, of the character of the sphere that we have here, because we don't even have a character right now. Oh, look, he's like looking to the side to take a sip of the martini. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
turning back now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've got 4 heads,
like
right? So this is like you put 4, although the measure, I think it was 3.5, right?
It should be like 3.5, 3.75 maybe, because right now like her leg is not totally going down. So maybe this could, like, as you can see, let me just bring this again up. And oh my god, where did the skull go? Like they lost their head. So as you can see here, this thing is like, well, let's change the color. As you can see here, this thing is rotated. So maybe when it goes down, it will probably be around here. Maybe it will be a little bit longer, but this is not also like exactly one half of head. So we can be kind of well, we can be a kind of rough here and just take stuff around at the end. No, where the martini go? Okay, here. So now that we know that stuff, we can be kind of like forgiving. That's the word, forgiving. I wasn't prepared for this, sorry. So yeah, now that we have our proportions right, our heads together, what we can do is that let me hide. No, I want to have the martini, so I don't want to feel alone when I'm sculpting. So well, I got you, Maria, but like,
yeah,
at the end, I'm lonely in this room. So
there is a question. Why don't you use these spheres? Is it personal preference, or are they not helpful, Florentina Van House?
Well, these spheres are useful. Like you can block out pretty quickly the shape and stuff. But I like to keep my objects separated. I like to keep them, like when I want to do like some changes, I don't want to like make some big changes to other elements. So when I'm blocking out, I like to keep like the limbs separated from each other. Like there are a lot of ways. Like this is not the only way that you can do it. Remember that these are concepts. Like we have here, what I'm trying to share with you, it's like to keep proportions in mind and stuff. But there are a lot of ways to construct a character and to start a sculpt. So you could like start from a sphere. Like for example, if I would want it, like I could just like start it from here, started doing the face. Let me just get my. So I got spotlight projection. So if you have like a reference here, and if you try to sculpt, it won't be able because you have a reference in your spotlight. So if I wanted, I just like pop this thing here and bring it down and start blocking up, or even use C-spheres. But I don't want that because I prefer to have more control over each subtool, right?
Yeah.
So right now I'm using like basic shapes to make it, and I think it's simpler because like I mentioned, I wanted like a square shape here. So if I would use like a C-spheres, getting this square shape, it would be pretty hard for me. Like I would have to make like a cylinder and then like to shape it up. And I think when you have like less topology, less faces, it's easier to manipulate stuff. And if I would make like a C-sphere object, maybe there would be more topology and stuff like that. So I just want to keep things simple and like following these things that I've talked about before, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Was that good?
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm going to bring this here. I'm seeing that the body is around like 1.5 heads. So I'm going to bring this up. By the way, I bring this box here by going into append, and I inserted a cube. Or you could also like maybe duplicate this and just go for your Q cube, and you also get a cube. But I decided to append it, right? Let me go back to this. Can you hear my notifications? I hope that those are
No, we don't.
Awesome.
No, we don't.
Awesome.
Guys, I see all of your questions, so I'm going to be pulling them up a bit later because otherwise we're not going to progress on the blockout. I'll give you another 5-10 minutes, Alfredo, and then I'm going to just shout out a few more questions because I just, I think it would be really useful for everyone to see a little bit of the progress so that by the end of the day, everybody here also know what to do with the blockout phase and kind of how to approach that. Okay.
Awesome.
So
great.
But guys, I see all of your questions and definitely gonna ask them just in a bit.
Okay, so I'm keep like doing some small changes here. Let me just make this transparent so I can showcase this better. Again, I went too far, I think, maybe, and this maybe should be a little bit smaller. Yeah, something like that. Again, simple stuff. This is like drawing a stick figure. As you can see, it's like just like sticks and circles and stuff. So we're trying to keep it as simple as we can right now. And let me, if you want to mirror this thing, you could use the subtool master, if I don't remember incorrectly, but I prefer to use mirror and weld in this case. If you want to use subtool master, you can find it here, and you can like mirror and stuff like that. But I have this one here that you can find inside of geometry. Let me just bring it here, mirror and weld, and there. You'll notice that if you try to scale, well, this is not in symmetry, so if you try to scale here, it won't be on the center. So for that, you have to click the local symmetry button. This will let you like do scaling and stuff in the local symmetry of each object. And yeah, so also I have heard from some people that it's not really useful to keep it on always because it messes up your symmetry in some way. So after using it, try to turn it off. Again, I'm copying this thing. I'm using the same elements to help me out, like to don't spend too much time on stuff. So I'm using this same cylinder for this. I'm seeing that usually, like, anatomical fact is that usually the hand ends around the half of the type, but I see that her arm here is kind of like rounded up, and I think it should be just a little bit lower, maybe around here, because it's a stylized character. It doesn't have to have like actual like anatomy and proportions for a real human being. This is more about shapes, silhouette, and that's what we should be focusing most of our time in. Okay, so I can just bring this out down here, and I can maybe start measuring that up, maybe around there. I'll have her hand around here with a cylinder also, maybe. So let me, sorry about the noise. I'm not sure what my neighbors are doing. I hope nothing bad. What's up with that? Oh my god! Sorry so much for that. I'm so sorry.
You're okay. I think you can still hear everything.
Yeah, but it still is annoying to hear that, right?
But no, I think it's fine. After 2 years of lockdown, very much, and I'm sure everybody is so much used to home office. Like,
oh my god, what are they doing down there?
Just keep going. We're good. We'll try to filter. I hope everything is on the same page.
Awesome.
At the same time, we're all live. That's definitely a benefit.
Yeah, but they're pretty loud. But okay, I'll try to keep going and to ignore them. Knock, who's there? Nice. Yeah. So yeah, I'll block out the hands like this. I don't want them to be in the same object. I could leave them there and just use topological to move them around also, if you prefer that way. So right now I'm going to keep it like this. Let me just polish this thing so it's a bit more rounded. insert knock knock joke here.
Oh, sorry, different color. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, this is not with symmetry, so let me just get my symmetry turned on and push this thing forward.
So, quick question that was here before: do you pose at the blockout stage or later? This one.
It depends.
Or do you T-pose and then pose after? I think that image explains already.
It depends. Well, it depends on the project. Like if it's just a sculptor, I will like do all basic stuff, but leave the body and try to get the body in a symmetry, or like get it to a certain stage and then jump into symmetry. But if it's something for like a character, for like it's going to be rigged and stuff, I prefer to work in T-pose and try to, like I've been doing here, like take some measurements, take this to Photoshop maybe, and do some measurements and like try to analyze what the length of each thing is and how it's going to work and stuff like that. But it really depends on the project that you are working with, since in also like you could pose it at when you are at certain level to double check stuff, right? So when you are posting it, you understand that maybe the arms need to be a little bit longer and the legs need to be a little longer. So you like make like a experimentation in posing, and then you go back to your T-pose and like do those fixes to try to take it back. Or some people even like get the pose one and just like turn it back into position and mirror it, and then they got the proportions that they want and the shape that they want, right? Is that kind of what the question is? Yeah,
I think that replies yes.
Awesome. So right now I'm trying to think about like the shape of the character. I did this twisty thing here. Well, it's not twisty, like this curvy thing, because the body usually has this line that goes around the body. This is a terrible line. This is also a terrible line. Yeah, this is like an S shape along the body. So I try to implement that. No, this is terrible. Let me go back, and it goes something like this. Yeah, something like this. So I'll have to move the torso a bit forward, a bit like the hips. So this is like a natural sense of weight that the body has, and it's the gesture of the body when standing. So I'd like to keep a little bit of it, even if it's like a oh my god, like a character for animation and stuff, and it's even if it's very simplified, I try to keep some like anatomical elements there to make it more believable, because at the end you want this to be a believable character, and you want it to read as it is alive, and that it's like actually living in some space, in some like world, and there's gravity and like so you can believe that this actually exists, right? Let me bring the head forward. She doesn't seem to have a neck, right? So I'm going to just ignore the fact that she has a neck. Well, she does has a neck, but it's covered in hair fat, and that's okay. So I'll leave it here. I'm not going to even block it out. I could, but well, I will. I think that I can. So let me get this thing. Since I already did a duplicate, I'm going to Q cylinder to get this little cylinder here, and just going to pop this up, just to fill that area like a nice color here, just to get the silhouette going, right? To get this thing going and to start reading the shape. Also, there's the hat, so maybe I could block out the hat. Let me just get one cylinder here, append, another cylinder, and okay. I think I'd better use like a Q cylinder here, just because it's a simpler element, and I can do bigger changes on this because this doesn't have as much as topology. Again, I like to keep things simple. I don't want to like go too overboard and doesn't have enough control, because if I have like too many polygons here, like let me just get a lot of polygons. When I move stuff around, it will take some time. Oh my god, what are they doing? So yeah, this will be like really difficult to handle. It looks like a bot on her front, but yeah, when having too much topology like this, it will be kind of problematic to move stuff around. So I like at the first stages, I like to keep things very, very simple. So square, you can totally see the squares here. I don't mind. I'm not looking for this kind of stuff. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for the silhouette. I'm looking for the first reading, like to get all the elements in place, and that it reads as the character, even in the silhouette. Like, why do you think that you recognize like stuff just by looking at the silhouette? Like, you can see a shadow of a bottle and you understand that it's a bottle because the silhouette, just by looking at the silhouette of something, you can understand so much. Like, if I didn't have like maybe if I didn't have so much light here and you can only see my like the outline of me, you could see that I have headphones and you could read those headphones, right? You should know that I have glasses because you have the outline here for the glasses, so it should read even from the. You are muted, Maria. Sorry.
Oh my God, yes, I was muted. I was just saying I'm going to bring Alfredo back a little bit so that you could see his outline, what he's talking about.
Oh, sorry. I forgot
no
that I was.
Yes, you're great. Yeah. Okay, so now you see Alfredo's outline. Now you can see the screen back.
Yeah, so, yeah, awesome. So I also want this to read here. Like, you also read in this console. Let me make this bigger. So why do you think like that you can, if this was just the outline, like you could know that she's wearing glasses because of this, just because this little variation on the silhouette tells us so much about the character. Like, it explains us that she's wearing glasses, she's wearing a hat, because just about this outline tells us that she's wearing a hat. And because of this nice outline here, it's telling us that maybe she's using some boots and there's like fabric going here. So this explains us that there's a change of fabric here, a change of element right here, just by looking at the silhouette. You don't really have to look at the whole picture to understand that what's going on here. Maybe this is a little bit hard to read, but you should probably be able to read that this is a shovel here. And because just by looking at the outline, because I watched a documentary on babies actually, and they said that when we are babies, we don't actually get to see very clearly. Like, we see very blurry when we are at the baby stage. So when we are like looking at the world, we are learning from outlines, right? We're looking at blurry stuff, and we know stuff by looking at the outlines. So when I heard that, like, it made so much sense, because we learned, the first thing that we look is outlines, and we learned from looking silhouettes and stuff. So it makes sense that we are all trained, some more than others, to look for shapes and to look for patterns and to look for stuff to recognize. And also, it's a very basic stuff of human nature, right? To understand what's going on around us and to look for stuff, right? So I think it makes a lot of sense that the outline tells us so much, right? Let me grow the mask and invert it. And I'm going to place this here and scale it. Around there, maybe. Yeah, I appended a bunch of stuff. Like, I appended a cylinder, and you can actually use the initialize section here to change any element into another one. Like, maybe I want a cube. So this will initialize a cube, a sphere, a grid, a cylinder. So yeah, I saw a question on the notes, so that's why I was answering that. And let me just bring this a bit bigger. I'm going to use my C modeler here. This is a little bit advanced for some, but I'm going to use my C modeler to scale that loop here, just because that's way easier to do just by using the C modeler. Let me change here. Let me append another cylinder here, just to, like, what I do pretty quickly is like just duplicate and hit one of these buttons here. So I get stuff like in here pretty fast, and I don't have to go to append. So I just duplicate the thing that I have, and let me just hide this here. And I already have this thing here. Let me just do this here and scale it up and bring it down. Oh, that's not aligned. Scale it up and bring it down, because I want to create the outline for the I want to use the red thing here, so that's right, just like that.
Cool, looking good. So Alfredo, do you mind I start throwing you some questions?
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, so let me start with this one. Which is better for Blockout, for import new polymesh or IMM brush?
Import new polymesh or IMM brush? Well, I use both. Like you see right here, when I was trying to make the palm here, I actually use the where is it? The IMM primitives to import it. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just, like I mentioned before, duplicate and use the initialize buttons here to get some very basic stuff pretty fast into the scene. Or sometimes I append stuff. It depends. If I already have like something constructed and I can use it, I will probably do. Like if I had hand, maybe I could like import it. But since we're doing all the things here from scratch, I will try to keep everything from scratch. And I also think that I don't have any characters with 4 fingers, so I'm not prepared for that. So I will do it like in this way, right?
Cool. Okay, somebody just gave us a heads up, like 400 plus watching, 62 likes. Well, like we didn't ask for likes. Okay, like give us another like give our Hawaiian shirts another like. Thank you very much. We don't actually see how many likes or comments we have. We have no idea. So yeah, but thank you very much, Shubham, for bringing this up. Like I almost started feeling bad right now. Anyway.
And thanks for everyone for being here and listen to me.
Actually, like we're very grateful for all 400 people here like watching this. I was just reflecting today that if we had all participants of this bootcamp in one hall, we would waste a lot of money on space and on drinks, definitely.
Yeah, on drinks, mostly on drinks.
Mostly on drinks for sure. But yeah, so thanks everyone for coming here and for probably bringing your own drink. So this is the concept of the bootcamp, BYOB. If you know, and it's going to be like this for the whole week. So make sure you come back. And meanwhile, I've got more questions here. So yeah, Kyle actually is saying that ZModeler is covered in ZBrush fundamentals. That's true. And
yeah, that's true.
You can also watch it in Z Classroom, but depends on how much time you've got. So let me throw you more questions. If I'm more comfortable blocking out in other app like Maya, shall I block it out there first? Or I don't know how to address that.
Yeah, totally. If you feel more comfortable blocking out stuff in another software, that's great. That sometimes do that. It also depends on the project that I'm working on. And if it's also where you're feeling more comfortable. Like I like sometimes to start project like this, but sometimes it's more time consuming. So you could use like a base mesh and just move it around in another software, or even bring it here. I like to do it here because I already got really comfortable inside of ZBrush. So there's no much difference for me doing this here or in another software. And I like, maybe for some people like this interface is really like difficult. It was also for me, like at the beginning. I didn't know what I was doing in here. Now I know where every button is. Like doing the fundamentals course really helped me to like know where everything is inside of ZBrush. So right now I'm pretty, and also like having my own UI and having my buttons here makes everything so much simpler.
Okay, so Alexander is asking if it's a must to model the blockout in a T pose. I think no, right? Like we can block out the way.
Yeah. Blockout just means like blocking out the main shapes, like making the main shapes, like making the main like silhouette of the character, the limbs, the proportions, right? That's blockout. So
yeah, and so that answers also David's question, the same question. So for this assignment, we don't really care. Meanwhile, like you progress. For us, the most important thing is that every day, guys, you achieve something, because we all know how it feels when you start a project and you're very excited on Monday, and then there is Sunday, and and you're not at the same level of excitement, but the project is still at Monday phase. So let's try to all like advance and produce like the variety by the end of this week, that would be really, really amazing. So more questions. Somebody's Kazuki is requesting the updated UI file. This is better than in fundamentals. Okay, can we do that, Alfredo?
What's that?
The updated UI file of your ZBrush.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
give us the UI file. Yeah, I can give it to you totally, no problem. Like I don't have many stuff. Like I just drew, like this is pretty disorganized. I've been wanting to change my UI for a while, to don't have as much as buttons here, and start using more like of these popping up menus that you can also do. But it takes some time. I think it should take me around like maybe 3 or 4 days to manage stuff up and to know what I need and to know what I do. So I haven't had like put it the time to actually do that, so that's the reason. But yeah, I can totally give you the files. It also comes on the ZBrush fundamentals course, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he says it's different, so this is better. So anyway, we'll review that, so guys. Yeah, okay, but I'll grab this from Alfredo and we'll upload it to the page, to the ZBrush fundamentals. So if anyone wants to get that, please just like sign up for the free starter version of ZBrush fundamentals. It's available on the page of the course. It's like at artheroes.co. You can find ZBrush fundamentals, and there is starter version, which basically gives you the tester access and like all the basics. So then. When posing your sculpt, do you keep the clothes separate for topology, or are all those assets sculpted and entire thing retopologized, like clothes and body?
When I pose your body, you keep the clothes separate for topology? I don't understand. When you pose your sculpt, do you keep the clothes separate for a topology, or are these also still an entire thing, clothes body topologized? I don't really understand the question. Like,
so I think the question is like. Posing, I think the question is when blocking out your sculpt, not maybe posing, do you keep the clothes separate for a topology? I think that's what Joanna means. But Joanna, please, like, feel free to rephrase your question.
Yeah, please. I didn't quite get that. What
okay, cool. Okay. Is your interface vanilla or default? So is it your custom? Yeah, it's custom.
Well, vanilla default are the same, right? So,
yeah, exactly. So I think that was it's not vanilla.
It's custom. It's custom, totally.
It's chocolate.
This is like a version of one of my bosses. Like I worked in a studio here in Yucatan, and this is based on the UI from my boss. So that's why it looks like this. That's the first time I started using like a different UI from the standard one. So shout out to Esteban Cobo for this UI.
Cool. So all right, so I'm just scrolling here for more questions. We've got a bunch of comments. So okay, Hammer, sorry, like just still reading through the comments. And guys, if you have any questions at this stage, I just don't want to miss any old questions. So I'm just looking for those. What's the difference between adding a polymesh versus adding a new object with the IMM brush?
Well, adding a polymesh, like when you mean adding a polymesh, you mean like in a pen, like these are polymesh for you? Like a polymesh is just like a editable mesh. So a polymesh could be like an imported asset that you have from another stuff. That's what I understand. So the difference is that, well, nothing. Like they are just different meshes. Like it's a different way to import meshes. Like there is no like better way to do it. It's the ones that you feel like more like it works for what you are trying to do. Like, for example, I already used all the methods that I've mentioned. Like I imported this thing using the IMM brush, and I appended this thing, like this polymesh from here. And I also like copied this cylinder to make this arm. And I've been using like all of them on the go. So there's not like a specific one that does the trick. Just like figure out what do you need and what works for you at the moment, like what's faster. And even I also like just duplicate stuff and initialize stuff. It's just a way to get the shapes that we want. It's not about the way to get them. It's about the like what do you need to do.
Okay. So I think I've covered almost all questions, but this is the last one from Amanda, and then I will go to the bottom, to the recent ones. Do you try to avoid triangles in the topology, or are they acceptable in sculpture modeling?
At this stage, at the sculpture, I don't care about triangle. I don't care about the topology at all at this stage. I'm just caring about shapes, and that's why there's a topology stage, a retopology stage, because I don't want to like worry about those kind of stuff at this stage. Like I'm just, like I mentioned before, I'm just trying to focus about this: the main silhouette, that it reads as a character, that the shapes are there, that it's strong, and all stuff like that. So.
Cool.
I forgot the question.
Oh my God, I already removed the question. Sorry,
if I care about topology. No, I don't care about topology at this stage.
Okay, good answer. Great. So Joanna rephrased her question. When modeling, are the clothes separate meshes?
I like to keep them as separate meshes because that's a same concept as here. If I want to move something, I don't mess everything around. And if I'd like to make changes to a lot of stuff, what I can do is just go to C plugin here, go to Transpose Master. Where is it? Go to Transpose Master, T-pose mesh, and it will give me like everything merged together. And I can do like big changes here to all the meshes, and I can bring them back to their one. I don't want to bring this back because it is awful. But yeah, if you go to C plugin and then hit T-pose to sub-T, it will like make all these changes in your actual mesh. So it doesn't really matter if it's on the same object or it's not. If you want to make broad changes to a bunch of elements and it's not, and the transpose tool with the pizza boxes is not enough, you can totally like get into this and do big changes to your character. Let me erase that stuff because that's horrible.
Awesome. So Raven was asking if you're going to cover some hard surface. Raven, that's a great question. And actually, I see many people asking that. So we'll make sure that we cover some hard surface tomorrow, because tomorrow we have the class on details and texturing. So I'm going to try to convince Oscar to cover some hard surface. I think that's a good idea. Definitely we'll try. So
awesome.
Yeah, we'll try to do that. Then another question. Okay, so where can we post the whip? The whip can go in the Discord. So if you go to Discord, you can post it on day one thread. Okay, day one channel. That's just there. You can post it. Also, you can post it on Instagram. And as I'm saying this, I'm just going to remind you that there is the hashtag Art Heroes Bootcamp. Oh my God, I covered too much, but now you definitely remember it. So Art Heroes Bootcamp is the hashtag. But
excuses now.
Yes, but if you guys want to be added to our gallery of whips, because every day there's going to be a gallery of whips, you can tag us in the stories at like Art Heroes, and that's the hashtag if you're posting something on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're using. So that's our hashtag for this bootcamp, and also the whip can go on Discord. We're looking at what you guys are posting. Now let's see if we have any questions for Alfredo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Magic Life, nothing is working for me like shown. Don't worry, I'm sure you're not alone. There is a Send Help channel also in Discord. Just, I don't know, post your screenshot or something. We'll try to help you. Or somebody like, guys, help Magic Life, because Magic Life deserves some Magic ZBrush. Let's try to get everything going. So Ben Turfy, when dealing with concept with lots of perspective, do you have any advice? I have a 3-point perspective that's heavily skewed. Alfredo, that's on you.
Yeah, that can happen. Well, that's more about interpretation. Like try to get to a midpoint between all three and then just eyeball it. Like look for the shapes on your own. Like analyze and look what it feels more like the character. That's more like a feel thing instead of like a technique thing. Is just like this will take time maybe, but after a time you can develop an eye to kind of get a grasp or how the character is feeling and how it and how you can like maybe translate the shapes in a way into 3D that it reads as a character, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so more questions. what do you do when there isn't something very clear or understandable about the design of the character? Yeah, that happens all the time, right? When the concept is like not very clear.
Yeah, that can happen. What you can do is that you become the designer there. You'll have to make some choices, some design choices there, and that's part of the fun. Like sometimes when you have a job on something, you need to completely like kind of trace the character, and you don't have many things to say. Like your voice is kind of like on the back there because you are trying to translate the character as it is, like as this. But when it's not very clear, then that's an opportunity for you to add a bit of yourself inside of that character, right?
Okay, yes, agree. Just collect, I'll just add like what we sometimes do with our stylized program students. We ask
collect
like
reference.
add additional references. So imagine your character is a soldier, but it's like very, like very rough. It has very rough design. So just look additionally for, let's say, a sword that could work well, that looks like similar, but has more detail separately. And just things like that. Okay.
Yeah, remember about the thing that I mentioned about the lines? I haven't like touched that yet. But when you do that, like when you are getting like a reference or something, most of the times it won't be fitting like the style, but you kind of like get the design choices here. Like we can see like there are a lot of curves. It's a pretty simple design, so we should try to emulate that on the concept that we are doing by using the reference that we have, just by trying to emulate the line work of the artist, right?
Great. So Kyle is asking, when you are blocking, say in Maya, would you block each aspect separately, then import each object position, Dynamesh and ZRemesh each part?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So when you're blocking out, for example, in Maya, would you block each aspect separately, then import each object position, Dynamesh and ZRemesh each part? Oof, I think that sounds like a really complex.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a body, well, I'll probably make the whole blockout of the body in Maya because it's poly modeling, so it should be kind of easier to get the shapes there and to like move around and to move the edges and stuff. So it really depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing a body, yeah, probably I will do the whole body in one go inside of Maya instead of like jumping around. Because what I don't want to do is like is the reason also that I like to start here in ZBrush is because I want to stay in the same like software. I don't want to start like jumping around and like trying to export, import and stuff. So that's like a suggestion maybe to like try to manage everything on the same software, just to avoid like taking the time of or like moving from another software to another.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, like it depends on the actual object that you're working on. If you want to like ZRemesh, but you can do it. It's a way to work with, and if you feel comfortable that way, that's totally okay.
Cool. So Andre is asking, will the stream be available? Yes, it will be available. You can watch it exactly in the place where you're watching it now, or you definitely got a link to your email. The replay is going to be available for the week during this week. So 7 days, you can watch that anytime during the week. And another question from Kirill, what is the masking when the mesh appear to be all in cross-hatched strokes? How is it different from the regular masking?
Oh, you mean these ones, right?
Yes, I'm sure it's this one.
Okay, so this is the pizza boxes aspect. It's not called pizza boxes, it's called the transpose all selected tools. So instead of just making, so when you use the transpose tool, you are just able to do changes on the subtool that you are on. But if you'd like to do changes to different, like more than one, you can enter to the pizza boxes tool here, and then you can, by using Control Shift, as if you were to isolate a section of the mesh, you can select the meshes that you want to transpose as a group, right? So that's the difference between the masking and the pizza boxes kind of maxing crosshatches kind of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Guys, I think we're kind of running out of time here. Alfredo, can I take a couple of more questions?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, great. So let me grab that. There was a question: can we use Marvelous Designer to sculpt the clothes? Well, of course.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so. No
Yeah,
problem. Yeah.
definitely. That's gonna happen later. You can definitely use any software of your choice. There are no restrictions. The main thing is make sure you actually use it. Like, don't get stuck there and not continue. Just for sure. So next question.
I'll try to block out the face just so you get an actual thing. So it's not difficult for you to block out the face. Also, for blocking out the fingers, you could use cylinders and just move them like one by one like this. One, then you got the phalanges. You better maybe also like, you could like twist them around so they are not like as straight. And you can like soften this part here like using cylinders, and you already have kind of a nail there, right?
Yeah.
So you actually get really fast the actual shape of the finger, and then you can like move this stuff around and merge them together to create the whole finger using Dynamesh, or probably Dynamesh is the best way to do it. And like that, you can easily block out the finger. And for the face, we'd like to like make some, or like place the ice holes. Let me just bring this here so I can like have some reference of the place where it should go. So maybe a bit upper because she's looking up, but I'll try to make her, well, yeah, I think that like she can be like looking a bit up. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Maria. What were you saying?
No, I was just also figuring out what are the questions here that we haven't answered. So I see one from Tatsu. Is there a difference between how you sculpt between game characters and animation characters? Want to take that?
For the sculpt, no. The main difference there is topology. So at some point you'll have to, well, you kind of have to consider that it can be too high poly. Like, well, it can be high poly, but you can't have like too many elements, too complex elements, and you have to think about how you are going to, what's the name, simplify this at the topology stage. But at the sculptural level, that's not much difference. Like it's the same concept, like shapes, reading the silhouette, and those are the same concepts, like probably in any kind of sculpting that you're doing.
Yeah. So Chris is asking, how is ready Blockout looks like when I have to say stop for myself to be ready for tomorrow part? Okay, Alfredo, you can take that.
I think like around where I am, maybe a bit more, just a little bit more.
Just make sure that if the character has 5 fingers, you just like copy paste, make it 5.
Yeah. You can say that the blockout is there when you kind of get the feeling of the character. Like maybe right now, maybe I have the basic shapes, I have the arms, I have the legs. This is probably the blockout, because since here I can start to make changes and to start extracting stuff and then polish everything else.
Yeah. But also, if you're really inspired, guys, and if you want to push a little bit further, I wouldn't say just like stop and wait for the next day. Just keep adding some details if you know what you're doing, and there is no reason to stop at the blockout phase. But yeah, we're just saying that the bare minimum is blockout, because without the blockout you can't do anything. But when you have the beginning, that's great, but also feel free to continue. Okay, let me just grab 2 more questions because we have them here, and then we'll start wrapping up. So awesome. Yeah, so one more. So do you okay, fine, we'll answer that. Hattie's asking, do you use ZBrush to pose as well?
I do, since I want to learn a bit of rigging, but I do pose inside of ZBrush. I do like a combination between like what I'm doing here, changing the visual elements, or like going into the transpose master and then pose it inside there and like do the basic posing and then polish the final pose like in each single subtool when I come back. That's what I personally do.
And the final question for today will be this one. Do you have perspective on during whole sculpting process?
Yeah. I try to keep it on perspective. I like to sculpt maybe on 50 focal lengths, but you also have to take into consideration maybe like the probable camera that it's using. The character is, it's kind of important, but kind of not at some points. But it's kind of it, having maybe the right focal depth will help you totally to have the actual volumes right. Yeah, and don't be twisted, because if I were sculpting like in 18, it will be like pretty distorted, and maybe if I want it to look like it does here, it will be pretty distorted when I get it into another software and I use an actual camera lens that works for this. Maybe for this case it's using like an 85 probably.
Yeah.
For this one.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. But I like to sculpt in 50.
Alrighty. Awesome. Well, guys, we're slightly over time, but we typically like keeping things on time because we definitely understand that everybody has other commitments. So we definitely don't want to keep you here forever with us, although it's like really fun. And it was great to honor the past plans together with everyone and, celebrate the neighbors. So, I think we've got a lot more ground to cover tomorrow. Definitely like how this character is shaping up. Let me just come back here to see, show our faces. We're still here, haven't changed location. So, alrighty, guys. Alfredo, do you have any final comments on the character, or final kind of wishes or comments on the Blockout?
Yeah, if you are not liking how it's looking at this stage, I'm certainly not totally liking how it's looking at this stage. It doesn't really matter at this point. This is just the blockout phase. Remember that this is not how it's going to be looking at the end. This is all like the starting work to avoid issues at later stages. So you don't have like proportional issues and stuff. It's already figured out at this stage, and then we just have to polish it and to make it kind of push it to look good. At the end, that's kind of our job, like to push it towards it looking good. It won't look good meanwhile we're working, because it should look good at the end, not while we're working on it.
Exactly. I agree. Okay, guys. So that's it. So before we go, just a reminder again, feel free to post anything on our Discord, and if you want to be added to the gallery of whips, even if it's not pretty, it's always good to show others what
totally.
What it starts with, because it doesn't start pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty. But anyway, so feel free to tag us in your story on Instagram if you post that. And what's that? Tomorrow we're back here with a little bit more advanced stuff. So make sure you have some progress by tomorrow, because we're going to get down to details and texturing. So two things.
Awesome.
And Oscar is going to show texturing in ZBrush. And kudos to Alfredo for being here so last minute. Alfredo Baro is also on Instagram. Let me just drop his name here. Feel free to tag Alfredo Baro on Instagram. That's is it just Alfredo Baro, right? Alfredo.
Yeah, that's it. My name tag is
cool. So
it's Alfredo lower tag lower score. Baro.
Oh no. Okay, I'm just gonna correct it. So is this Alfredo _ Baro? So if you want to tag Alfredo as well, so that we could see what you guys are doing during this session. So it looks actually like this.
Yeah.
So you can also tag Alfredo, and stay tuned. There is my personal favorite Discord channel is oh my god, what's it called? Oh, the flood, basically. Off topic. There is
I love that one. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's it. I'm gonna end this streaming for tonight. Really appreciate you guys being here, and see you all tomorrow.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. See you tomorrow, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
I love to see your stuff. Bye.
Yeah, bye.